There I am. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, what a day. I know, I say that every week. Um, Listen, I want to start with uh, many of you had been asking about my live event last week. So, let's start with this. It was a convention that was held locally. Um, I sold 10 hats in one day, which, that was really good. Hi, Doug. Doug's camping in San Dimas. So he's watching us out in the great wilderness. So, yes, I sold 10 hats. Um, but more importantly, I made dozens of connections. I have a couple of different people interested in my setting up a booth at their local convention. So we'll see how that goes. So, what are we talking about today? We are going to talk about digitizing classes. Over the years, oh, thank you, Cindy. Cindy really liked the setup. Um, Over the years, I've had several people ask me if I was going to teach digitizing. Now, I've taught a few classes at a couple of events, the smaller events. In fact, for Applique Getaways virtual classes this year, I'm teaching two classes. Both of them center around the Willcom digitizing software. So look for that. But there are people that want to take it a step further. They want to know how to place a node, how to make the design, how these tools work. So this year, I think I'm going to do it. Yep, this year, I think I'm going to do it. And what I want from you are suggestions. If you were taking a digitizing class now, what would you want? Good morning, Barb. Barb is here. So, what would you want in a digitizing class? The first thing I want to, the first thing is I want to provide my own educational history. So let's bring this back up and we will download this one. My first digitizing class um, came with a software I purchased. It was called Generations Plus. Um, Actually, it was a pretty decent software. It did have some glitches, it did have some bugs, but you could learn to work around them. And with that software came, oh, good idea. For those of you who don't know, I have my yellow legal pad, my junior yellow legal pad, so I'm going to be taking notes. The first thing Doug suggested is settings for different fabrics. Okay, so this is the first class. This is the first line of classes that I took in learning how to digitize. I had started out with a free software, you know the kind, you download it, doesn't have a lot of features, very difficult to learn how to use, and that's when I went searching out a teacher, an educator, and Holly Pike, the woman that was teaching this software, provided all of these discs with the purchase of the software. Let's see what Barb has to say. In any digitizing class, it's important to explain as you go, meaning to tell people right click, left click. Good idea. Explain actions as you go. Thank you, Barb. So yes, Holly Pike was my first education. And of course I got excited about it. So I went looking for more. Locally, we had an event. It was an Anita Good Design event. And while there, I purchased The Art of Digitizing. It's a DVD set. Um, it's not out there. Hey, Gail. Gail, good morning. It's not out there retail at their site anymore. In fact, they've redone it. They've renamed it to like Anita's University. But you can still find the set on eBay if you're interested. Um, and it was really good. Then I went on to, I looked for books. This is a book set that I still recommend. This is, oops, sorry. This is a book set. It's an ebook set by Lindy G. The Anatomy of Design and the Embroidery Recipe. Of course, they're on sale as a bundle now. And remember, Lindy is not, she is not a wordsmith. So there may be some grammatical errors or, but you know, she's got years and years of experience. And she gave us this knowledge in these two books. Really good. I still recommend these books. Doug, that Anatomy of an Embroidery Recipe, that might help you with your fabric settings. So I still have that one. I still work that one. And then I met DJ Anderson. DJ Anderson learned digitizing directly from Walter Floriani. For those of you in the industry, Walter Floriani was one of the big three. Back in the day, there were three educators that were phenomenal, and Walter Floriani was one of them. Walter is no longer with us, but we have DJ Anderson, who learned directly under Walter. And he has an online class, an online course that is really good. One of the things that I got from that course, and let's see if I can pull them out of here. All of these note cards regarding settings for fabric type and stabilizers and fill stitch compensation. That's a good one. Let me get my mouse up here. Doug says that he is currently taking classes from Lee Caroselli of Balboa Threadworks. It's a live class that happens every other week, and she is a phenomenal teacher. She has been doing digitizing since before. Oh God, just amazing teacher. Balboa Threadworks. I've worked from her site. I've downloaded some of her work. She's beautiful. She's wonderful. So who do I have next? Oh, I just recently got this one. Now this publication is a little bit older, and they only print it now. It's comes in a 2-inch binder, 3-hole punch. And like I said, it is a little older, but it is still very relevant. So I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that, and of course, we have Punch, Bonnie Nielsen, an amazing
educator, and her book, which is still available at theembroiderynerd.com, it's under the category education. Her book is amazing. It's no longer in publication, so if you get one, once they're gone, they're gone. Yes, they might be a little pricey, but Doug has 2 copies. Doug wanted to make sure he got it. And Barb loves the Punch book too. She goes into so much detail in explaining digitizing. A wonderful, wonderful educator. So my reason for bringing all this up is to say that I have not stopped learning. I believe that ongoing education is important in anything that you do. Oh, look. Doug said that one of them he won, and it was autographed by Bonnie. Well, that's going to be an industry keepsake collector's item. That's wonderful. Amy says that she has this and she needs to get back into it. Yeah. Just work it one chapter at a time. And she's right. Always learning. So, like I said, over the years, people have asked if I would teach. So I'm going to do it this year. I'm already formulating classes. I want it to be a multi-class because you can't learn everything in one go. First thing you need to do is learn how to use your tools. Your tools are your straight stitch, your running stitch, your satin fill, satin column, and your tatami fill. Those are all the first things you need to learn. Even before compensation, even before underlay, even before fabric, what fabric settings you should use. So, here's my first question to you that are here. Let's see if I've got it up here. Nope, I don't. I have a subscription to Microsoft's 365 package. That includes Teams. The research I've been doing, Teams is a online meeting format, much like Zoom, much like Gmail's meeting. One of the things that I'm interested in is because it's part of my package, I already get a lot of, Amy says she's done a lot of Wilcom classes, and it's very good, but she needs sequential learning. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. We start at the beginning, and we work our way up. So I'm going back to the presentation, how we're going to go live with this, is I'm strongly thinking about Teams. Now, for those who don't have Teams, it is a free download for the participation. And then I thought maybe we should have at least one class, or maybe I'll pre-record something about how to use Teams, because, not everybody knows, myself included. So I'm pretty, and the other thing about Teams that I really like is that it allows you a 1-hour class. Zoom only allows a 40-minute class. So it has a whiteboard, it has screen share, recordability. So I'm pretty confident that that's the one we're going to go with, Teams. Now, here's something else. I don't know what to do. I want to make these classes not software specific. And I can do that for virtually all software
except I'm not sure how to approach the Embrilliance software. Yeah, Doug's right. If you want unlimited meeting times on Zoom, you have to subscribe to it. Well, like I said, I already have a subscription with Microsoft 365. Why would I want to pay for another um, meeting platform if I've already got one? So that's what we're going to work with. Um, I don't want to I don't want to make these classes software specific. But the thing with Brilliance is that it uses a different a different shaping. It uses and I forgot the term already. Bezel bars or something. It does not use nodes. Let's see if I can open that up and show you. So here's my concern is what do I do for the Brilliance people? Do I suggest that they find another educator? You know, Lisa Shaw, she's my gal. Let's see. And enter. There's my keyboard. Let's make this a running stitch. Okay. So, let me bring this up. So, in Brilliance, uses, if I need to change the arc, it uses these bars. And that is the primary means of reshaping. I know Doug was mentioning that there is a nodes option, but most people do not change it. They they use these, it's bezel something, bars to change their embroidery, to change their shapes. So again, the question is, do I direct them to another educator? Thank you. Bezier handles. Thank you. That's what those are called. Whereas we know, let me get onto a new page here. You're right. Amy was saying that that she uses those handles with Adobe Illustrator. The graphic softwares do use them, which is probably why I'm no good at graphic software. I can do a trace, but as we know, in Wilcom and softwares that use nodes to change our software, we highlight the node and we press the space bar and it will toggle between a curve and a straight. So, and where'd it go? There it is. Now, Cindy is asking for Wilcom specific. I will be teaching through Wilcom, so that should help. And the tools I'll be using will be from my, obviously my Willcom workspace. But regardless of what workspace you use, laying in a node would be the same for all of them, with the exception of the Brilliance packages. So, let's see, where are we? So I'm not quite sure what to do for the Brilliance people. There are some, Lisa Shaw, like I said, she's my go-to when it comes to Brilliance. There is another educator out there, Jack Matt something. She's really good. She has what is it? She has multiple levels of classes. And here's the other thing. I don't want to sell a package. I don't want to sell like an eight week package. Because not everybody needs to know the beginning. Not everybody needs to know how to lay in a node. Maybe, for example, like Doug, for example, he could bounce over to the more mid level to advance, where Cindy, for example, would need the beginning to get to the mid to get to the advance. Does that sound reasonable? We could break them up, 9 classes, 3 classes beginning, 3 classes mid, 3 classes advanced, so you know where you are. I want there to be homework. I know. Have we done? Oh, thank you, Cindy. Cindy was saying that she agrees with the blocks of 3, beginning, middle, and advanced. There's going to be homework. So it's quite possible that the classes will be every other week with a homework week the following week. So whatever the fee structure is for the class, you'll have your learning for that same initial fee structure. You'll have your learning, and then you'll have your homework assessment. And that would also be live, and we would go over everybody's homework, and we would analyze it, see what's going on, see what could be done. Okay, sound good? Are we doing okay? So yeah, I've been putting a lot of thought into this. Oh, that's the other thing. What day? What day of the week? Do we do it on a weekend? We're coming into summer. People have plans for their weekends. Doug wants to see as part as a decision tree to teach what to use where. Oh, now Doug, we can do something like that, but you have to know that those are only guidelines. You will have to test. You can take those guidelines and you could program them in, but they are not going to be hard and true facts, because there's always a difference in stabilizers. There's always a difference in fabric types, the size of the design elements, the length of the stitches, the underlay. There's so many variables that you can make a decision tree, but you have to understand that it is a guideline and not set in stone. Janice wants to know what I was thinking about cost.
Julie's wanting to know about sequin work. Just to bounce back to the homework, Amy's saying that that's a good idea. Gives time to work out the homework and then again analyze it. Janice wants to know about cost. I was thinking $25 per class, and that $25 will get you, in the case of our blocks of classes, will get you your first beginner's class with the following week homework class. So you would get 2 hours for that $25. Just an initial thought, and that's what I'm thinking. Julie is asking about sequin work. Julie, I don't have a sequin attachment for my machines, so I don't know how to set it up. I do have the capability to digitize for sequins. It's part of my software package, but I don't know the mechanics of it. If you'd like, I can try to find you an educator for sequin work. I'm going to make a note. Julie Miller, Hansberry, sequin work. Julie, send me an email so that I remember to, so not only that I remember, but I can get back to you on this. Email at quick2stitch@gmail.com. Let's see, what else have we got here? The homework. Okay, Doug understands that if we do a decision tree, it'll be only a guideline. Thank you, Doug. There are and I only mention that because there are too many people out there that are just starting out that are looking for those hard and fast rules. And in embroidery, there are no hard and fast rules. Like I said, there are so many different variables that change things. It would give a good foundation. Yes, it would give a good starting point. Just like when you're doing adjusting your bobbin tension, a lot of people use the tensioners to tell them where they are, and that's a good starting point. You know you need to start at like 250, whatever that measurement is. Then you can, adjust until you get to that area and then work on fine tuning. Barb is absolutely right. Fabric is something that is learned through use. One of the best books on fabric is Claire, is it Schaefer's Fabric Sewing Guide. It has so many varieties of fabric with suggestions for sewing. I'm going to make a note of that. I'd like to take a look at what she's got. Like I said, always learning. Schaefer's Fabric. Are you writing this down, Doug? Sewing Guide. So, what do you think, people? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I need to, first thing I need to do, well, I need to plan out the class structure for the first 3 classes. I need to make myself really familiar with Teams, with team meetings, so that I can in turn teach people how to use it. Oh, very applicable for embroidery. Yeah, we're going to look her up. All about education. And I'm also about sharing knowledge, and that's where I am here. I do not have a formal educator background. I do not have any kind of teaching certificate or
anything like that. But I tell you, I will teach what I know. What I know works for me, and I will always encourage people to test and see what works for them. So I need to structure the first 3 classes. Cindy's all excited. I need to structure the first 3 classes and put together a how to use Teams video, and then I need to put it out there. All right. All right. Well, that's what we've got today. Um, Now I have to run out to my husband's shop and do a little tweaking on the machine that we set up out there, um, and maybe stitch a couple of hats for him. But yeah, I'm excited too. It's a new avenue in my digitizing. So, and I hope that to share this. Erin, thank you. While we're here, Erin with A&P Sewing. Erin made, where to go? My table cover. Actually, he made 2 of them for me. If you need table covers, if you're doing events, Erin can help you with that. Thank you, Barb. Thank you, Amy. You guys are terrific. Okay. With that, I'm going to go now. I'm going to go. It is very nice. Erin did a wonderful job. Um, the only thing I wish I had done different is I wish I had ordered a 4-foot table as well as the 6-foot table, because I have both. Hi, Pam. All right. So for those of you that are interested, stay tuned to my Facebook group, Needles McKee, and my quick to stitch page, and I'll let you know when it's out there. All right. You all have a great weekend. What do we got? Next Sunday, a week from tomorrow, is Easter Sunday. Get your family together. Put a couple of eggs out there for the. Thank you, Gail. Watch for it. Put a couple of eggs out there for the kiddos to go find. Get yourself a hollow chocolate rabbit and enjoy. And don't forget what the day is for. And enjoy your holiday. But I'll see you next week. All right, time to go. Let me find that. There it is. Bye now. Fun? Do you have more questions? Do you want to learn something new? Join me at quicktostitch.com for coffee and conversation, and we'll talk about it. Embroidery machines, designs, and business. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.